How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Two Bros Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Hunter Smith, and I'm here with my brother and co-host, Dakota Smith. How are you doing, Dakota?
Excuse me. Busy day at work. That's what. NBA 15 games tonight. Good thing we didn't try to preview all 15 games. That's brutal. But I like what the NBA did. They played all those games today, so there's no games on election day. I like that. Good move by I think that's a good move by the NBA. Interesting start to the year in the NBA. We're about 10, 11 games in for between 9 and 11 games in for everybody.
Yep.
So it's a weird start to the year. Like the East is kind of what we thought it would be. The West is the exact opposite of what we thought it would be.
I think it's the opposite of what a lot of people thought it was going to be.
The Utah Jazz are somehow 8-3. I don't know how or who or why the Utah Jazz are 8-3, but they're 8-3. The Spurs are somehow 5-5. Don't ask me how that's possible either. And the Warriors are 3-7. Yeah. Great start.
Yeah, and I mean, even in the East, there's some teams that are, lower down, like Brooklyn and Philly and obviously Miami's outside of the play-in at the moment. And
you were higher
a few games in, but
you were higher on Brooklyn than I was. I don't know if I believe in Brooklyn anymore.
Yeah, Bucks chilling at 9-0 though.
Can we talk about the Cavs chilling at 8-1? Cleveland's 8-1.
Good.
Cleveland is good. That team's legit. That trade for Donovan Mitchell was genius. That was a fantastic move. You get rid of Lauri Markkanen and a few other guys who haven't panned out. And Donovan Mitchell's averaging 31.4 a game.
He's having a year.
And by the way, a lot of that they've done without Darius Garland. He's only played in 3 games.
For a few games. Yep.
Yeah, he's only played in 3 games. So, that team's scary. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 7 guys averaging double figures in points.
Dude, LeBron, who they don't need.
Well, he's not playing tonight, and the Lakers are just in dire need right now of something.
But Milwaukee off to the best start in franchise history. So I think before that it was 7-0. Now it's 9-0.
And they get the Trae Youngless Atlanta Hawks tonight. That's convenient. Trae Young out with a shin injury.
And before we get into things, I will say Russell Westbrook looks better off the bench.
He does.
I won't lie.
He does. He
looks good. He's performed well.
Good, yeah. Maybe he's not dead after all. Maybe there's still something left in the tank for old Russ.
Well, it could just be a couple games. Anyway, all right. So we got a few questions here. And the first one is, how does James Harden's injury affect the Sixers? Of course, James Harden, right foot tendon strain, which is projected to sideline him for approximately 1 month. And Doc Rivers did say on Sunday that Harden is in a walking boot and will be limited to non-weight-bearing activity for the time being. How does this affect the Sixers, Dakota?
Well, Harden was averaging 22 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists. So ideally, you would say a lot. You would think. I mean, Philly 4-6. You hope there's something there. DeAnthony Melton is sliding into the start. They've been without Embiid the last 3 games too.
Yeah,
that record's kind of deceiving for Philly. They've been without Embiid, so they get him back tonight. That team at 4-6 surprises me. Like them at 4-6, and really, nobody else in the East surprises me other than that. But you'd like to think that's going to affect them a little bit. But I think getting Embiid back is going to help. I think there's a small sample size. It's 10 games, but obviously a month. If they can get him back in a month, I think that's not bad. He's missing probably 15 games, 10 to 15 games?
Roughly 12, 13.
12, 13? Okay. And out of an 82-game season, that's not huge. You just hope it's no more than that. Like if it's like 20 or 25, then you're a little worried.
Mm-hmm.
because then he's
Well,
not back
and
until December or
the
later
only
in
thing
December.
the only thing about that 4-6 start though, the thing is for me is that they haven't had a tough schedule so far to start out. I mean, they had Boston, they had Milwaukee, but then you got the Spurs, Pacers, the Raptors twice on back to back, Chicago without Lonzo, back to back games against Washington and New York. So I
Well,
mean,
yeah, they got Phoenix
and they've
tonight
got and
too.
they've got a tough schedule coming up. They've got a tough few
They
games here.
yeah, they got Phoenix tonight. I kind of like this whole 15 everybody playing at night. Then they made NBA League Pass free tonight, so
Yeah.
you can watch every game. That was cool. Good move by the NBA to get your product out. Just don't know on a Monday where there's Monday Night Football whether that's such a good idea or not. Like you could have picked a
Well,
better day during the week to do it, but
I'll watch it.
as
Just
as
not.
someone who has interest in the Monday Night Football game, I will probably pull up the Warriors game, and that will be about the gist of what I watch for basketball tonight. That will be on my laptop while I watch Monday Night Football
Yeah,
as
and I
Lamar
mean,
Jackson's playing.
I will watch the NBA games. However, probably not on NBA TV. But anyway,
No kidding. You go
I think
to NBA.com and sign up for it. Every game
Mhm.
right there. Every
Oh,
game. And you can switch. There's a little feature where you can switch back and forth. It looks like you could like click on. They had like a bar with all the games on it. You could click on it. It looked like it would go to it. I didn't try it because there was only one game on, but it looked like that was a feature. So that's cool.
interesting. I need a thing where like it takes me when it goes to commercial, it switches games.
Or just
I
March
don't even have to
Madness.
do it.
Just March Madness and
Yeah.
have like it's like 5 screens open on your computer.
But back to the Harden thing. Yeah, I think it's gonna affect them. I think they might have a rough month of games, especially these next 6, 8 games. I think they might have a rough stretch here. Most of them being at home, basically all of them, besides one in Atlanta. But I think they could have a rough stretch here, but then it gets a little bit easier for a few games. But we'll see. We'll see. Harden was playing well. I think he looks a lot more like James Harden than
Yeah.
when he was at Brooklyn and last season in Philly. So we'll see. Next one might get a little sensitive here, but the
Oh boy.
Warriors, they've lost 5 straight games. However, all 5 games on the road, and these are including losses to the Hornets, Pistons, Heat, Magic, and the Pelicans. Does this put the Warriors in a worry mode?
No. No. You're the defending champ. No worry mode. The West, they're gonna get through. They'll be fine. They don't need to be the 1 seed. They don't need to be. They weren't last year. They don't need to be the 1. I was kind of mad that they set everybody against the Pelicans. I wish they would have set everybody against Orlando.
Yeah, that was weird.
I think they should have set everybody if they were gonna do that. The back to back, set everybody on the back to back, set it on the front end against Orlando.
Yeah, I agree.
I Steve Kerr said after the Orlando game that stuff and things need to change. And you're right.
Yeah.
They do. Jonathan
They do.
Kuminga needs to play. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and why
I'm
I'm
done.
more?
I'm done. I'm done watching JaMychal Green play for the Warriors. Like,
So he's playing bad.
no, it's nothing
It's
against
just
JaMychal. It's nothing
gotta
against
develop the
JaMychal.
future.
Nothing against JaMychal Green, but like I want to see. Show me what we got. Like, let's go. Like, took a top 10 pick on this guy. Show me what he's got. Moses Moody's playing more than Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, and
That should not be the case. I do too, but like we all think that ceiling on Kuminga is ridiculous, right?
Oh,
Like,
it is.
his ceiling is insane.
He's basically Draymond, who can shoot a little better, even though it's still a little iffy. But he can develop that. I mean, he's in Golden State. That's the perfect place to develop shooting. So
he's bigger than Draymond too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 6'9", I think. And then, but he's basically Draymond, but with just a higher ceiling than Draymond.
More athletic too. He's longer.
Yes, absolutely. It's lengthier too.
He's gonna be one of those guys who looks like he can guard 1 through 4 at least, maybe 5,
5.
smaller 5, yeah. And his athleticism's off the charts. Like I said, I want to see him shoot, but no.
Just like Draymond though, like he doesn't need a score. I mean, take the open shot if it's there, obviously, and I'd love for him to be able to become a spot up shooter. at least around 30-35% maybe when he's like, wide
Yeah,
open, things like that.
if he
But
can get to like 35 to 38% from three, I think that's pretty good. Like if Giannis gets to 38% from three, he's by far the best player in the world. Like I'm not drawing comparisons between the two, but their games seem a little bit similar at least.
yeah.
Like
And
Giannis is a long athletic. Giannis is bigger, obviously, and
mhm.
better. But I'm not saying Kuminga's ceiling is Giannis. But I say
Well,
if he plays a style of game like Giannis, I would be happy with that.
yeah.
I don't need him to shoot. I need him to play defense, and I need him to get to the rim. That's what I need him to do. That's what you expect out of Kuminga right now, which is what you got out of Giannis when he was earlier on in his career. So
Yeah, I think Kuminga needs to play more. I think Green needs to take a back seat, and I think Wiseman needs to start.
I do
I
too.
think he needs to start starting games.
Yep.
I don't get me wrong. I love Looney. I
Oh, I do too.
absolutely love Looney, but it's one of those things again. We got to start developing the future. Maybe it's not the right time for Wiseman. Maybe it's later in the year when he gets more integrated into the game plan and things like that. But I mean, we'll see. But Kerr and Clay, they both said that they won't panic after what they like to call it, the road trip from hell. So, I mean,
Well, it was. So
yeah. So, I mean, Kerr and Clay both saying they won't panic. I guarantee the whole team's on that same road. I bet they're all on the same page, which is good. But you got the Kings at home. I think it's a must-win game, if I'm being honest. I think you
I think
have to beat the Kings at
I
home.
think you're about right. Yeah.
You got Cleveland, then you got the Kings again away. Cleveland could be a tough game, but you got to beat the Kings away. You have to beat the Spurs. So
Yeah, those are
we'll
and
see.
let's not put all the problems on the like guards aren't shooting. Curry is Curry. He's shooting 41%. Klay Thompson's shooting basically 33% from three, and Jordan Poole's shooting 31. There's a lot of problem right there too. And let's be honest, Klay hasn't looked like himself ever since the injury. He came back last year and he still wasn't himself. And Steve Kerr also came out and said that Klay Thompson probably won't play back-to-backs this year. Play one leg of a back-to-back this year.
Oh well, yeah, you got to.
I mean, and I understand that, but I'm like you. I love Kevon Looney. The man has been a great center, but all right, that's your number two. That's your number two draft pick. He
Yeah,
needs to start. Like he needs to. Like you want him. You want some change. There's your change. Give me 20 some minutes from I need Kuminga's at 14 minutes a game and he hasn't played in 3. I need Kuminga at like 20 to 22. I think that's
yeah,
what I mean. You give Draymond 30, you give Kuminga 18. I'm okay with that too.
yeah.
Or if you want to give Draymond an easy night, give Draymond 28 and Kuminga 20. Find him some minutes.
Yeah.
I think DiVincenzo when he comes back will help.
Yeah,
He is a good shooter.
I like DiVincenzo. So I mean,
I do too. I liked him ever since he was at Villanova. I want to see more minutes for the young guys.
yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I like the way the minutes he's getting right now. I like how Moody is finding his way in this team, but it's time for Kerr to put Kuminga more in there and to I think really let Wiseman take his next leap in his game
Oh yeah,
and in his career.
I think it's time for James Wiseman to be the number 2 overall draft pick. It's finally time. He's healthy. See what you got to see what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have I need to see it because if not now, then when?
Yeah.
I don't want him later on in the year when you're trying. I want to rather you integrate him now than wait until game 65.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, if he's not playing good, Looney's already played with the 4 starters all last year and the year before.
Yeah.
So
Wiseman's playing 14 minutes a game.
yeah, he's got to play more.
He has to.
Even if you split him, like, yeah.
If you go give him 24 and 24,
Yeah.
I'd be fine. Go 28 and 20. I want to see more. Like Draymond's playing 29 a game. Okay, give Kuminga the other 19 at the 4 and split the 4 24 24. Or if you want to lean to Looney, go 28 20.
Yeah.
Kevon Looney's never been a big minutes guy. He only plays 24 minutes a game.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Draymond's probably getting some run at the 5. I don't know who else are they giving JaMychal Green run at the 5? That seems awful. That seems awfully small for them to be running.
But
Green.
I mean, come on, the Warriors.
It's the Warriors.
Ball.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's becoming a more popular thing, obviously.
I want to see more Kuminga.
Yeah. No,
I think you. I mean, also, you throw Kuminga into the Iggy role.
Well, yeah, that's
the plan, right? Like you throw him into the Iggy role. You go nothing. I'm not sliding Jordan Poole, but this is the 5. You go Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Kuminga.
I mean, yeah, it's a definitely a lineup you can run for sure. I mean,
because at some point, Kuminga just replaces Draymond, right? That's what this is.
Well, at some point, as in probably next year. So.
Probably next year. Yeah, you're probably right. I as much as I hate to say it, I think Draymond's
I
done
hate to say it. I hate to believe it, but it's probably
I do too.
Next year.
I do too, because I love Draymond. Now I'm going to hate playing against him.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to play against Draymond.
They ain't nobody going to know the Warriors better than Draymond Green. Everybody in the West is going to want Draymond Green.
No,
for the simple fact
that is going to want Draymond.
Yeah, because he knows everything when it comes to the Warriors.
He knows everything about basketball, period. That man's knowledge of the game is incredible.
Oh, it is incredible. Draymond Green's going to
amazing analysis after.
Oh, I think he's going to make a great analyst when he is done with his career. He already does it some too. I think he is going to be great in the booth whenever he decides to hang it up. I kind of want to see
what JJ Redick's doing.
I like JJ.
Redick. I kind of take a lot and on those.
I kind of want to see LeBron go into the booth too.
It'd be interesting to see LeBron's point of view. Like we've seen Draymond. Draymond has a podcast and things like that. LeBron, I mean, you don't hear him just talking all the time about different things in the league. And
I just don't know if LeBron's got the personality, like that kind of personality to be on TV like that.
Yeah. Well, Warriors lost 5 straight all the way. The quote unquote road trip from hell. So we'll see what happens. I mean, they've got a home game here and away another home game. So our third question, we've got 4 written down here. So our third one is about the number 1 pick, who is most definitely looking like the number 1 pick. Is Paolo Banchero the clear ROI front runner, or is it too soon to tell?
I don't even think this is a question you need to. It's yes, and it's not even close. Mathurin's been great.
I agree.
Mathurin's been great.
Yeah, he's looked good.
He's looked good, but Paulo's been on a whole other level.
Yeah.
And I think if Chet would have played, I think this would be closer. Because I think Chet would have fit in Oklahoma City really well.
Yep.
I don't think it's close. Keegan Murray's not going to catch him. I mean,
yeah. And he's not
Paolo was the best player. Like Paolo was the best player in this draft.
Yep.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think there was much of a question. You could have argued Chet and you could have argued Jabari Smith. And Jabari Smith hasn't been great, but when you play on a team that's 1-9, it's hard to look great.
Yeah. Well, that's a very young team.
By the way, if that team ends up with Wembanyama, look out in 4 years.
Oh, absolutely.
That team's going to be stupid.
That team will be dangerous, I promise. I would put money on it right now.
No, that team would be stupid. That core is as young as it gets.
And this isn't a knock on any of the other rookies. Because
not at all.
Mathurin, Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith, obviously Chet's hurt. Even Ivy, like they're all playing well. Like, I mean, for the rookie year and everything like that. But I think Paolo is thrown into a situation where he's the number 1 option right out of the draft. And he's the main part of this team. And I think that's the biggest difference.
You think Paolo's going to be an all-star this year?
There
you go.
I don't know about all-star.
He's averaging 23 a game.
But
The man is averaging 22 and 8.5 a game.
I mean, I could see him
That's
being
all-star.
one. It's not that I can't.
Oh, that's all-star level production.
And the thing is,
I know the team
actually
sucks, but
I can because it's also a fan voting thing, and a lot of people like Banchero. A lot of people like Paolo.
I think right now I'd make him one right now.
Oh, it's very possible.
He's averaging 22.9 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, and 3.6 assists.
Yeah, he's having a phenomenal start.
Those are great numbers. Like,
I kind of wish I've watched a Magic game this year, but
I haven't. So. I haven't because they don't play on TV.
Yeah,
they don't play on TV. Oh, and I haven't made my FanDuel bet yet. FanDuel's got a thing where you bet $5 on the NBA and you get 3 months of league pass for free. I'm waiting until I get out of my busy season for work to do that.
Yeah.
So probably next week.
Yeah, I mean, Paolo, he's clearly making his presence known, and he's proving himself into the world that he definitely deserved being that number one pick. I think the Magic made the right choice. And he's got an absolutely bright future in this league. And we're going to head to New York here. We're going to head to the Eastern Conference. And it's an interesting one, just by the way things have started out. But which New York team has a better future ahead of them this season? The New York Knicks or the Brooklyn Nets?
I'm going to defer to you here.
Well,
I'm going to defer to you because I want to hear what you have to say, and then I will kind of dissect what you say.
Well, my thing about this, I actually saw this on First Take, this question specifically. So shout out First Take. But they're both Knicks are 4-5, Brooklyn's 4-6. Kyrie Irving suspended 5 games.
Yeah.
So, and I wanted to get rid of all this Kyrie Irving drama, but it's just coming back.
Well, he does that. He does that to himself.
The thing is, I haven't watched the Knicks game. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't. But I've heard good things about Brunson and this whole defense. I've heard they're boring to watch. I've heard they're kind of boring to watch.
Well, they were kind of boring to watch last year too.
A defensive minded team, I think. So like, I actually like the New York Knicks. I actually like Jalen Brunson, even though I still don't know if I agree with how much they paid him. But I like Julius Randle, RJ Barrett. I think he's improving just year by year. I think RJ Barrett's improving. I like the looks of has Emmanuel. Wait, where is
Quickly's played?
Yeah, Quickly has played. Yeah. I like Quickly. Cam Reddish, he's looked better in New York than what he has in Atlanta, in my opinion. Obi Toppin is starting to actually grow as a player and not look like an absolute bust in the first year.
Oh, if they give him more than 16 minutes a game, that might help. He's averaging 10 points a game.
Absolutely.
He's averaging 10 points a game in 16 minutes.
But the problem is about New York is that they don't have that superstar that just sticks out. You have some all-stars. I'm not gonna lie. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are absolutely, I think, all-star caliber players. But I think Brooklyn still has the brighter future by the end of the year. You have Kyrie Irving, you have Kevin Durant, who are both averaging combined 60, 63 plus points per game. So I'm still a fan of Brooklyn. First off, I want Kyrie to just figure this stuff out, dude. But I know obviously he meant no hate by what he did, but I think it's a matter of time for both. But I'm taking the veteran team over the young guys. I think New York still has a couple more years to improve.
I think this is the year for Brooklyn. I think it's this year. It's not at all.
Agreed.
And they need Simmons to figure it out. I think that's the big thing right here. It's Simmons, or if Simmons doesn't figure it out, I don't think this team figures it out.
Yep. I
think that's where it goes. And I really like the New York Knicks. I think their talent pool is better than the outside. Okay, yeah, they have Kyrie and Kevin Durant. What else?
Well, that's where Ben Simmons needs to step up.
I think New York's depth is better. I think their younger talent is better. I mean, I think Quickly is going to be a great player. I like Cam Reddish. He's finally starting to prove what he is. RJ Barrett's finally averaging 19 a game. Finally, he's done what he's doing. But you kind of made a comment, and I kind of want to pose a question based off the money Jalen Brunson took. Do you rather have Jalen Brunson or Jordan Poole?
Jordan Poole for the
Okay.
upside.
Okay.
I think I'd rather have Jordan Poole.
Okay.
That man, first off, Jordan Poole's handles are absolutely disgusting. May I note, but
And I know the age. There's an
um,
age difference there too.
yeah,
Poole's a little bit
it's.
younger.
I think for me, it's the upside and the potential of Poole. Granted, if I think Poole was anywhere else, I don't know if he'd have this type of upside. I don't know if he would have become what he is now. Because I think that Golden State is that good at developing players, and I think Poole being there alongside Steph Curry really has helped him.
Okay. I said that because there's $19 million in between their two contracts. Brunson got 4 for 104. Poole got 4 for 123. I felt like those are two very similar players that that I think that would be a good debate on whether you would have. I think Poole's a better complement to Steph Curry than Jalen Brunson would be. I think that's the difference. I think Poole is a better complement. But I like the potential of Jalen Brunson too. Like, I think you get him. He's also 3 years. It's about 2 to 3 years age difference. So,
yeah.
I mean, that 19 million you're paying the age difference right there. So I think those contracts are very, very similar.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good talking point on. But I like the Knicks. I think they're a playoff team.
Yeah. No, I think they'll make the playoffs.
I think they'll be a play-in team. I don't know if they'll actually make the playoffs.
I
don't think they're a top 6 team in the East.
I don't even remember what I said for my prediction, but I don't know. I still maybe not a top 6 team. I can see it making the play-in though and going through is what I mean.
I can't too. Absolutely. That's a team I don't want to play in a single game series because of how good they are defensively.
Yeah.
Like that's a team I would
biggest strength. And I think that's really something that's been embedded into their style of play over the past couple of years.
I moved the file of my predictions onto my hard drive, and that's at work. I was going to look at my predictions real quick, and it told me I couldn't open it. I think I had them somewhere between 7 and 10. I had them in the play, at least in the play-in. I know I didn't have them in the top 6, but I had them in at least the play-in. I probably had them at 9 or 10, which is where they're sitting at right now, if I'm not mistaken.
The Knicks are in the 7.
7?
It's 9.
So they're still in the play-in.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think they can jump Chicago. I don't think Chicago's very good.
No, without Lonzo, I don't think.
I don't think they're very good at all.
I like DeRozan, but
I
think Lonzo is that big of a piece.
I expect Philly to pass them. I expect Philly to pass them. I expect Brooklyn to pass them, maybe not by a lot. I say it all. When you say brighter future, I think it's the Knicks. Maybe not this year, but in the next 2 to 3 years, I think it's the New York Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. I was more meaning like of this year, but in this year, I would say Brooklyn. But I agree with you on that. No, in 4 or 5 years, I'd absolutely would say New York. Because I think if Brooklyn does not win it all this year, I think it all shuts down. It all is going to go downhill.
I think they break that team up. Durant leaves.
I
think somebody has to.
It's Kyrie or it's Durant.
At this point, I think it should be Kyrie if you're Brooklyn.
I don't think anybody really wants Ben Simmons. So.
Not right now, I don't. Do you remember the speculation when people thought he was going to be a Warrior? I hated that. I hated it. I didn't want him for this reason right here.
I didn't want him after he decided to not take a layup in the playoffs. So.
Oh, Ben.
Sorry, Philly fans.
Yeah. No, we're at poor Philly. That's just unfortunate for them.
But NBA is, it's an interesting first 9-11 games for each team. So, I mean, Western Conference, I don't want to say is flipped up on the bottom side upside of his head, but you got Golden State down there, you got the Lakers down there. I know a lot of people didn't think Lakers were gonna be great anyway, but they're down there too, and I didn't think they're gonna be this bad. 2-7. You got the Clippers who are in 8th at the moment. The Timberwolves are in 10th. They're not looking like what some people thought they were going to be.
Well,
And
maybe if Kawhi Leonard would play
so
basketball, that team would be good.
that's also true.
That's
But
an
I will
entire
say John
that's an
Wall
entire
looks like
tip.
John Wall a little bit. There's some John
Yeah.
Wall flashes that kind of
Yeah, he's
scares
got to
me.
play. He's out. He's been hurt though for a while too. So, but like I get it. But Kawhi sat a whole year.
Yeah, I don't.
He sat an entire year and he's still not playing. Like I think there's something. I wonder if he re-aggravated something or if I don't want to speculate on injuries, but it's how many games has Kawhi played? Okay, the Clippers have played 10 games. Kawhi's played what, 3, maybe 4
this year?
Yeah, he's only played in 2 games. He's played in 2. Yeah, he's played 21 and a half minutes in 2 games.
Yeah.
There's a reason their record isn't as good as it is. It's because Kawhi Leonard is not playing. Everybody was basing their predictions of the Clippers based off the fact that Kawhi Leonard was going to be healthy the entire year.
Yeah.
And he is not.
And Tyronn Lue did say that on Sunday night that Leonard's knee is progressing well, but remains without a firm timetable, which is why it scares me.
How well,
not having a firm timetable in a knee injury is not exactly. I don't care if it says progressing well. It's not exactly something you want.
You know all about timetables and knee injuries. So.
Yeah, I do. And I broke my timetable. I got back like
you came back
a few weeks earlier. So
yeah,
but
because that could be 2 weeks. That could be 2 months with a knee
season.
Yeah, with a knee, you never know with a knee injury.
So
did he tear his ACL? That's what it was. Was that a torn ACL?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it was a torn ACL.
Now you got me wondering. Now you got me questioning.
ACL. It was. It was
okay,
an ACL.
That's what I thought. I was like, I thought.
Yeah,
it was,
this article says out indefinitely amid ACL recovery. So yes, it was his ACL.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of joints and tendons and things down in that knee.
The knee area.
Yeah. So I mean, but we'll see with the Clippers specifically. I think Paul George actually isn't playing horrible. He's averaging 25, 6, and 5 with 2 steals, and so we'll see with the Clippers. We'll see with the NBA as we keep marching forward. And I'm gonna be honest here. I think this is gonna start turning into a 1-week thing because it's kind of hard to talk about. All they're just do 2 podcasts a week with the NBA when there's only 3 or 4 days in between. So probably will turn into a 1-week thing, either Monday or Friday. We'll decide that at a later date. Probably will be Mondays.
Also want to be able to squeeze in our World Cup previews.
Yeah, and we'll get to that too. Yeah, we'll have a World Cup.
Those, if I'm not mistaken, World Cup rosters come out this week.
Brazil's came out today. So
check that out.
We'll get a World Cup prediction in. We'll have a soccer, football podcast coming soon, and hopefully, as long as it goes to plan, maybe after the World Cup, we'll have Premier League. Maybe.
The US is supposed to release their roster on November 9th.
Yep, Wednesday. Most are supposed to come out.
Yeah, there's a few that aren't going to come out until next week.
But that's gonna do it for today's episode of the NBA, and we will see you next Monday or Friday. Like I said, we'll figure it out at some point. But we hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and week, and we hope to have you join us next time on the Two Bros Sports Podcast. With that being said, I'm your host, Hunter Smith, and goodbye.